Hi there, this is Krista Moore, and welcome to the Krista Moore Show. This is actually show number 105, so that's pretty exciting. Now, for the past probably 45 days, I have been sharing the Your Word of the Year concept with many of my friends and colleagues and clients. And I thought that it would just be appropriate to take this time for the show to introduce to you the personal journal and guide that I have created. Now, this guide is downloadable, it's free. You can go to kristamore.net and receive it. And just know that it kind of looks like this, but you can follow through this journal and guide to kind of give you some reflection questions and coaching questions so that you can actually start creating that word, that one perfect word. So I just want to talk a little bit about the concept and show you some of the workbook here for a moment. So let me just clearly explain the difference between creating a resolution or creating your word of the year. Now, you can see here is a list of the many, many words that people come up with or statements that they'd come up with for resolutions. I want to exercise more, lose weight, get organized. I mean, those happen every year, usually in January. About mid-January, we're, trying to figure out how we can not live up to our resolutions. So the difference, though, is they can be overwhelming because they're kind of what I refer to as on the do level. It's taking action or doing things, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. But when you're working with a word, just one word, it's more about how you want to be or how you want to feel, who you want to become. So I'll give you an example of that. So let's say you want to lose weight and you want to eat healthy. Those are two doable things. But if you said to yourself, my word of the year is healthy, then when you wake up every day and you want to embody that word healthy, then you'll be doing the things that you need to do. So that's the difference between the do and the be. And the word of the year is more about how you want to be, how you want to feel. So I guide you through in the workbook some questions to help you discover what is the one word that you could embrace every day that would motivate and inspire you to achieve your personal and professional goals and dreams. And that's not an easy question. So that's why the personal journal and guide is available to you. I'm just going to walk through it a little bit, but I want to precaution you that when you choose your word, it's very important because words have power. I think we all know that, right? But these words that you are saying in your head every day, they can really drive how you act and how you react to what's going on in life. So make sure it's the right word, it's a positive word, and it's something that you're really loving and attached to. So most of my programs are these same 1, 2, 3 steps, but I'm going to, in the journal that you can download, there's 3 kind of areas of the program. And one is creating clarity. And the second is creating confidence, making sure that you're certain of that word. And then the commitment. The commitment is, okay, well, what are you going to do with this word now that you have it? First, in the journal, you'll find some space to write down your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, your intentions, and then I'll have you just write down any word that comes to mind. I suggest looking in a dictionary, and then when you're looking up that word, there might be synonyms or other words that come to mind. So just get all those words out in the journal. I'm going to flip through some slides that might be of inspiration to you for words. These are some of the popular words that I'm hearing coming out of many of our sessions. Confidence is a big one. Forgiveness is a powerful, powerful word. If any of you have ever had that as your main word and have offered forgiveness, it can be very freeing and just a very powerful way to live. Connect is the number one word that we see in 2021. I think a lot of people are wanting to reconnect and have felt disconnected with COVID and being kind of confined. Love, faith, gratitude, all wonderful words. Bold, I just love this picture. She excites me. And release, that's a great word. Dream, I love this little girl. She's really got a dream. So Have you gotten closer to a word? And I wouldn't expect you to say, yes, I got my word from all of that. But that's why the journal and personal guide is really the best way to go. I want you to download it. Maybe do it with your spouse, your friends, your family, because there's exercises then for you to do a process of elimination, get rid of words that just don't feel good. I then have you walking through how you can impact all the areas of your life if you were to embody that word. So it's not just a word for business or a word for your family, but we want you to live it every day. I'll give you an example. When I did this exercise for the first time, it was about 5 or 6 years ago. And the word that I chose was called jump. And that's not a very glamorous word, right? Jump. But how I came up with that word is I was at a stage in my business. I had had it for 13 years. I was getting kind of bored. I mean, the business was great. I had multi-billion dollar clients. I had thousands of people taking my online learning. From outsider looking in, I probably looked like I was, living the dream, but I was not having a good time and I was working my tail off and all these different areas of my life were affected in a negative way because of it. And when I created the word jump, it was a feeling that I would have if I were to make the changes that I needed to do in my business and not be afraid. By jumping, I could land safely on my feet and be fine. So I woke up jumping out of bed every day and I applied that energy and that confidence to all the various areas of my life and saw significant improvement. Part of the journal will help you think about, well, a year from now, if I lived my word every day, what would be different for me? And I think it's important to manifest that and reflect on that and envision that, because that's one way to get it and to attract it. As I mentioned, there's like three parts. Well, the second part is confidence. And this is where you're really thinking about, gee, like what triggers me or what causes me to run away from my word? Why haven't I lived my word up to this point? And then you'll be kind of taking a little bit of an inventory on your bad habits, your good habits, and what can you do to start living this word and changing some habits. And there'll be some reflection questions through that. I also encourage you to be thinking about what your strengths are and doing an inventory of that. What are you great at? What do you love to do? What are your superpowers? I like to think that if you can align your strengths to your word, you could really soar and you'll be working and living every day with more meaning and with more purpose and passion, and creates energy and motivation and commitment. So it's so important to commit to that word and put your strengths around it. So I have some exercises to help you rediscover what some of your strengths are. And then as you move forward, you can create goals that seem to be more obtainable because you're being you. You're being who you're meant to be, and you're enjoying what you're doing because you're using your strengths and your God-given gifts. I also challenge you to not just make this woo woo and oh my word, but it's more that you can actually put it into action. So, what are you going to do to reinforce it? Some of the things that I suggest are create a dream board, or maybe you pick a song. Actually, I had Van Halen Jump playing in the background for at least a year as I had jump as my word. So there might be an association that you have. Maybe you put a post-it note, right on your screen, and you see it every day. I'm into journaling, so I enjoy writing and I enjoy speaking. So I am living my purpose. My word of the year is giving, and I'm giving a lot of my time and resources and knowledge and experience to others. And that's just part of what you'll see coming from me in 2021. But the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. And often your word can drive that. So let nothing dim the light that shines within you. I want you to go to crystalmoore.net and download the personal journal and guide and create your word. And if you have any trouble, you're not sure what it is, just send me a text or go ahead and log into the Krista Moore Facebook and post what your word is, or if you're having any difficulty, and I'll be glad to coach you and help you with that. So until then, my word is giving, and I look forward to living it in all aspects of my life. And I hope you're along for the ride of that journey. Just know that you can connect with me at any time. And I'm doing an awful lot of workshops, now more virtual than in person, retreats, speaking events, and I have my Krista Moore Show. And it's my way of giving back my gifts so that you can learn and be inspired by how you can rediscover what your purpose and your passion is. Until next week, I want to say goodbye. And Eddie and I are actually headed on the road on Monday, so the Krista Moore Show will be live from the road. Until then, take care. Great seeing you. Thanks for joining in.